Well, we are now 32 days into the government shutdown, and with federal workers still not getting paid, it's starting to heavily affect air travel. As Christian Benavidez reports, funding for food stamps was also set to expire today, but a federal judge has intervened.
Set to run out of money Saturday due to the government shutdown, a federal judge ordered the Trump administration to tap into contingency funds to continue paying for food stamps, but it was unclear when that money would arrive. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins.
My message to America is first, the fact that your government is failing you right now. If you are in a position where you can't feed your family, and you're relying on that $187 a month for an average family in the SNAP program, that we have failed you.
Roughly 1 in 8 Americans rely on the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, known as SNAP. More than half of recipients are children and the elderly. Other social safety net programs could also see funding lapses, like WIC and Head Start. Eve Del Real is the president of the Arizona Head Start Association.
Families would have to rely then on unlicensed care or relying on family, friends, neighbors to be able to compensate for the loss of this service.
Meantime, at our nation's airports, roughly 13,000 air traffic controllers missed their first full paycheck on Tuesday.
As this shutdown continues, you're going to see more pressure on controllers, more pressure on TSA workers, and that's going to have real impact.
That impact means flight delays and even temporary ground stops at some airports nationwide.
And President Trump says the Senate should drop the 60-vote rule needed to move legislation forward. That means lawmakers could end the shutdown with a simple majority vote without needing support from Democrats. And Central Georgians have been expressing their concerns as the SNAP funding freeze deadline approached. Although a judge's ruling could mean benefits will still be delivered, it's not certain when they will arrive. In the meantime, several food banks around Central Georgia are still anticipating a surge of families in need, while neighbors are doing all they can to help. Over in Lake Wildwood, Tiffany Medor converted a little free library into a little free food pantry after overhearing neighbors' concerns about putting food on the table, and so she wanted to help. Since then, she's filled it with food from her own kitchen to get started, but hopes to eventually offer hygiene products and cater to dietary restrictions. In downtown Macon, June O'Neill and other volunteers are hosting a food drive to stock pantries and help lift spirits. You can also join them in their efforts. They are asking you drop off canned goods, snacks, and household items at several locations, including Grow on Riverside, the Bohemian Den downtown, and Campbell's Collision Center in Bolingbrook. And the city of Warner Robins is also launching a community food drive to help families in need. You're looking at a list at some of the fire stations where they're accepting donations. They're looking for non-perishable food items, especially peanut butter, paper, and cleaning products, and personal hygiene products, as well as items like diapers and formula. You can drop off those items to any of these fire stations Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Well, more than 3,000 flights were canceled and over 4,000 delayed yesterday because of the ongoing air traffic controller shortage. In Orlando Thursday, the FAA warned the airport was close to turning away all arriving flights due to low staffing. The agency found replacements, but delays still piled up, with some travelers waiting more than 4 hours. Air traffic controllers could miss at least 2 more paychecks by Thanksgiving if this standoff continues.
The added strife and angst of not having a paycheck. How are we going to pay our mortgage or our rent and put food on the table for our families? You know, these are things that is a whole added layer of additional stress to what they already deal with.
Several major airlines have called for Congress to reopen the government, and some of them have started providing food assistance and other support to federal aviation employees who are currently working without pay.